I'm Chris Wise with Wise About Flower Mound, and I'm here with Troy Bishop with Rave Renovations, and we're going to talk remodeling, which is one of my favorite topics ever. I tell you, when I was 14 for Christmas, I wanted a table saw. Okay, so that just tells you how far back that goes. So, Troy, so good to meet you and so good to talk with you.
Likewise.
So tell me, how'd you get into this?
Interesting question, and hopefully interesting answer. We hired a general contractor to work on our own home in Flower Mound 6 years ago.
Okay.
It was a total disaster.
Yes.
We were forced to take our own project over. Things started happening quickly. I'm a project manager by nature.
Okay.
Things came in under budget, on time,
Imagine
as expected.
That. Yeah.
We started having neighbors ask, "Can you help with this? Can you help with that?" And honestly, it wasn't a planned event. It just turned into something that it is now. Every bit of it has been word of mouth. We got real lucky with the customer base that we've had, and here we are.
Wow. So what's the extent of what you're able to do?
We can do anything.
Okay. What do you choose to do?
Except build a pool.
Okay.
I won't build a pool. There's great guys around here that
we'll go to Chris Bowen for that.
There you go. I was going to mention Chris. We specialize in bathroom, kitchen, and flooring projects.
Okay.
Probably in order of volume, it would start with bathrooms. We do a lot of bathrooms in Flower Mound, and then next would be kitchens, and then flooring projects. But we do everything. We're building additions onto homes.
Oh, wow.
You name it,
Okay.
we can do it.
Well, I bet you're so busy right now because after Snowmageddon, so many people had, flooded properties and that was crazy.
We were very fortunate to meet a lot of people during Snowmageddon, Icemageddon, Icepocalypse. Everybody's got their own version.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, it's like nothing I've ever seen. It's really tough to keep up right now.
Right.
And make sure that we're on top of our communication and keeping customers informed of what's going on. We work diligently to do that, but it's crazy busy. For you guys, it's nuts.
Definitely. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, so many people are coming here, and then people are deciding to renovate their homes, even to sell them because
Correct.
I mean, the premiums are just crazy.
Yep.
So
Right.
it is crazy. So, I mean, I've been through remodeling projects where I was not the GC, but it was like I went through a major bathroom remodel. So how is the communication? Like, what do you guys do that you're known for, I guess, to get somebody through that process?
I think that, and great question, I think that communication is what really separates a great contractor from a good contractor. We employ project managers because as much as I would like to be at every job every day, I can't. There's no way, there's only one of me.
Yeah.
So our project managers communicate directly with the homeowners and with our subcontractors. So typically it's a group text message. They'll start every day with a group text message. Here's the expectations for the day. And at the end of the day, here's all the expectations that were met. Here's the ones that are still lingering. And here's what to expect tomorrow.
That's great.
When you live here and you work here, I think that communication is what really drives a great project. I tell everyone construction is imperfect and people are imperfect. So knowing that, but focusing on communication so everybody's on the same page, at the end of the job, it's going to be perfect. During the process, it's not always perfect.
Yeah. And, I know when we went through the bathroom remodel, when we started pulling stuff out, we realized we had a water leak that was a little bit more than what we thought, so we had to take out some studs and stuff like that.
Those things happen.
As you start peeling back the layers, you figure out maybe there's more damage than what you thought.
We see that quite often.
Yeah.
Snowpocalypse, icepocalypse, case in point.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Was that not crazy?
It was crazy. Again, we met so many wonderful people. We're starting to put families back in their homes now, which is a really great thing for them and for us. Material selections have been difficult because of COVID and supply chain interruptions. So there's been some exaggerated timelines, but I tell you, to get them back in their house is a big deal. And
exactly.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that were displaced. I don't know that we all went through it, right? The people that have been displaced from their homes have really felt it because think about it, it was in February.
Yes.
And it's July.
I know.
And they're just starting to get back. I know I have heard of some people that are not going to be back in their home this year.
Oh my gosh.
So. Fortunately, we only have one of those, but they're really cool people, and
Yeah.
you know they were able to purchase another home while
they did this. Okay,
Correct.
well, at least they've got that. And then,
Correct.
shoot, with the market, they'll be able to sell it for a premium.
That's exactly right. Good investment to live in and sell in a few months.
So do you have a brick and mortar shop? Do you come to people's home? How does that work?
Yeah, we do. We office in the Sagebrush Office Park, right
Okay.
down the street here. I think you guys used to have an office right around the corner
Yeah, we
from
did.
there. But I try to personally see everyone at least the first time, so that I can meet them. We know who we're talking to, and to be responsible with an estimate. But yeah, we operate over here. We see people. We see 30, 40 Flower Mound residents per week, which we're very fortunate to do and very grateful for. I can't always make every one of them, but I'd say 90% of them I try to be face to face.
No, that's good. That's really good. So as far as selections, are you using places where people go, or do you have selections in your place, or how does that work?
We don't have a showroom.
Okay.
We're considering a showroom. It's just
as soon as you put it out, it's dated, right? I mean,
you're exactly right. There are some pros and cons to it.
Yeah.
We rely on specific vendors, and there are a few in Flower Mound, but the majority of the best selection is down in Dallas and Capel and South Lake. So I think there is a need for something like that in Flower Mound, but we don't currently have it.
Right.
So we have preferred vendors that we use. We work with a lot of the designers here locally.
Okay.
We love it when there's a designer involved, because the material selection process is easy for the homeowner. It's easy for us, and click and boom. But yeah, that's kind of how we operate. I've considered it, but it's not in the cards right now.
Yeah, and it probably doesn't make sense. I mean, that's wasted square footage, and
it is void square footage.
And
You're
boy,
correct.
it is so expensive here.
It is very expensive here.
Yeah, you
You're
definitely
correct.
don't need to have tile samples.
Not
and
more
stuff
than we
like
need.
That.
Nope.
Go to ProSource or
There you go.
whatever.
ProSource is one of our preferred vendors. They're just down in Capel.
Yeah.
I've told them they need a location here in Flower Mound, so we'll see what they want to do.
Yeah, that would be good. So, okay, so we've talked about all that you offer. So your team, do you use subcontractors for most of the stuff, and then you have your project managers on staff, or how does that work?
So we have subcontractors that we use occasionally for very specific things, like fabrication of countertops and flooring.
Yeah.
But the volume that we're putting out, the majority of the subcontractors are working for us. So what I should say is we represent 80-90% of their work. Okay. And then we
you're controlling their schedule. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah. And the rest are employees, guys that have been with us for a long time. They can't leave.
Yeah.
They can't leave. Can't go anywhere.
Well, that's good. So what's the craziest remodel you've ever done, or craziest
oh my goodness
thing?
You know, every time we think we've seen everything, we're surprised. Gosh, that's a funny question. So we actually we removed a linen closet next to a bathtub one time. Yeah. And we felt cold air coming from the void behind there, and told the homeowner, and he's like, that's weird. And we knocked on the walls. There weren't any studs there. So we knocked on the walls, and he's like, let's knock a hole in the wall and see what's back there. We opened the wall up, and there's a room about maybe a little bit bigger than this size, an entire air-conditioned room behind this bathroom.
Oh my God.
I was like, Denton County's going to find out about this. It's taxable square footage, buddy.
That's right.
So that's probably the weirdest. But again, every time we think we know everything, or we think we've seen everything, like in your business, something new comes up.
Oh yeah, I stopped saying I've seen it all.
Yeah, every time I say that, I'm like, I got to quit saying it.
Yeah. So. Oh my gosh, a whole room. That's amazing.
An entire air-conditioned space.
But not whips and chains or nothing like that.
Nothing weird. I don't know what they did with it after we left.
Right. Oh my gosh, that is just crazy.
It was crazy. Yeah, and he's pumping air conditioning into that room too. Wasted money.
Oh my gosh.
So
that is so. I mean, you just wonder. You see it in the movies about stuff like that, but you never think that somebody would not realize. Wait a minute,
You got it.
Wow. Okay. Well, that is pretty crazy.
I think so too.
That is pretty crazy. So right now, if somebody's looking to talk with you about doing a remodel project, I'm assuming they can get an appointment fairly quickly, but you're probably booked out for a while as far as starting.
Yeah, we try to keep appointments within a week and a half.
That's good.
Just because, again, we want to see I want to see everybody personally, meet them personally. Work, however, It depends on the scope of work and what we're doing. Flooring is pretty autonomous. Countertops and backsplash, pretty autonomous. We can get to them within a week or two.
Oh, okay.
Because we've got such a high
Yeah.
crew volume. Full kitchen remodels, full bathroom remodels. We're 4 to 6 weeks typically is where we're at. These guys are working 6, sometimes 7 days a week. Again, we still have families displaced. They take precedence over new business because they're displaced from their home, and everybody understands that.
Yeah.
But that's typically a week and a half out on seeing folks.
Okay.
We're trying our best to turn estimates around in a week. I meet a lot of people that are waiting for contractors to turn around estimates for them forever.
Yes.
We try to be different, and I understand those. I understand their issues too. It's really tough to stay on top of things, you know.
Well, and we find, I know as realtors, and we have our list of trusted tradespeople, we start to send them a whole bunch of business, and they might be a really good plumber, but as far as keeping the schedule and juggling and all of that stuff, then they tend to get overwhelmed, and then they start dropping balls, and then, so I understand you got to have somebody who's really controlling that schedule.
We have a rule, and it's a tough rule to follow in business, and that is we can't take on too much. I think that is the killer for contractors. You take on too much. Don't be greedy. There's plenty of work for everybody.
Right.
We love supporting our competition. There's plenty for everyone to do here. We routinely recommend a few of our competitors because they do great work, and we can't do it all. We don't want to do it all.
Right.
So we try to cap it. It's hard to do because if you're a contractor and you're not a people pleaser by nature, you won't be a contractor long.
Yeah.
So we do our best to accommodate those things.
Yeah. No, I can definitely appreciate that.
I know you
because,
can.
oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, how many hours are there in a day, and how many people can you keep
Not enough.
happy? And
And not enough.
and then you've got a family. You've still got, you know.
I do have a wife and children. That's correct.
Yes, and so they like to see us too.
That's correct. I like to go home and eat dinner with them without my phone.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. No, that's true.
I know you know it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, what a year it's been.
It's been a wild year. It's been a wild year and a half since about February of last year to now. I think everybody would agree it's been a roller coaster.
Yeah, definitely has.
Thankfully, we didn't get those murder hornets.
I know. Gosh, I thought that was going to happen in August last year. I was like, oh, great. Oh my God.
We can scratch that one off the list.
That's right. That's right. Well, good. Well, is there anything else that you want to make sure that everybody hears about?
No, I mean, you know, we love the town of Flower Mound. We love the people.
It's a great place to live.
The town itself, you know, I've heard people say that they've been a challenge to deal with over the years. I have not found them to be a challenge. They're terrific to work with. They're people like everybody else.
So, yes, when we went through, we had to do something in our backyard. And what I realized was getting that permit, they're very specific for a reason.
Yes.
And so, and then going through several remodels, and when we hear, they say, well, the contractor didn't turn in the documents. And then that's what the town's saying. But the contractor, well, we're waiting on the city. And it's like, really? So, I mean.
They have a great software program.
E-Track It.
Yep. You got it. And the town,
highly visible.
They are very visible. The town allows mutual access from homeowner and contractor, so it's a good tool of accountability.
Yeah.
We're guilty of it too. That sometimes the communication breaks down, and you have to find your way back. But most of the time, it's the contractor, not the town.
Yeah, and it's they didn't do. I mean, you know, didn't do whatever. There's a requirement. It's there in black and white. Yep. Contractor didn't turn it in.
Got to check the box.
So like, okay, wow. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
This was great, and learning more about you and your business and how you started. And I'm always interested in how people started their business. Like I was an accountant before I was a realtor, but like I said, I wanted a table saw when I was 14. So I mean, I've always loved homes. I watched This Old House and all that stuff.
You can always come to the shop and play with.
I know, and just smell that sawdust.
We got plenty of it.
There's something that and drywall dust just gets me excited.
We got plenty of that
too. So it was crazy. So actually becoming a realtor was a natural progression for me. And it sounds like it was a natural progression for you after being so frustrated.
We love what we do. We love seeing something come to life. And I mean, there's just so many rewards. Like I'm sure you get a lot of them. We finished a kitchen remodel in Double Oak right up the street, I want to say in January. And this morning at 7:19, this customer texted just 4, 5 months, 6 months down the road. Yeah. And out of the blue, we just love our remodel. We're just so thankful. You did such a great job. that sort of thing, like you can't buy that. And I have been in corporate America. You get those accolades, those pats on the backs, but it's hard to replace that feeling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I can appreciate that too. Yeah. I mean, if somebody said to me, "You did that reconciliation so great," I was like, "Woo!"
Oh,
but now it's like, "Oh my gosh, you sold my house in record time and all of that." It definitely means a lot more.
That's exactly right. That's why they call you, right?
That's right. That's why they call me, because they make a wise choice. So.
That's awesome.
So, Troy, thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris.
So, I am Chris Wise with Wise About Flower Mound here with Troy Bishop and Rave Renovations, and we've got his information below. So, if you have any remodeling needs, definitely give them a call, and they will help you out. So, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.